Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's third and final video. We're going to have a look at the weather that's 10 to 14 days for today's final video. Day 10 will take us to around the 8th of August. And we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the GFS and ECM ensembles may run around a couple of weeks. I'll have a look at GFS V2 at the end of the video for August itself, and I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say, at the first video was our 6am upload, and we've also released GMA Friday as well. So your weekend starts here at GavsWeatherVids. Please like, share, subscribe on videos, and thank you so much, everyone. For Jim, I'll tell you what's coming up over the weekend tomorrow at the... I'll tell you what's coming up at weekend at the end of the video for both tomorrow and also for Sunday as well. Interesting weekend on the way, actually. Quite exciting. More about that at the end of the video. Right, okay, so let's start off CT. Now, I'm getting increasingly confident we might actually be able to pull off an 18 Celsius CT month here. So central temperature is still standing at 18.1. I thought it might tick down to 18.0 yesterday because I thought it was quite a coolish sort of day yesterday. But no, we're still holding steady at 18.1, which is around 2 degrees above average. That is provisional yesterday to 28th of July. It's going to be quite warm today. Temperatures into mid-20s Celsius across the CT region. Tonight going to be very warm as well. Temperatures holding up in the mid to upper teens Celsius. So I reckon, like today, tonight, could well seal this. 18 Celsius CT July. I think we're going to hold steady at around 18.1, 18.0, something like that. Remember, we're not expecting a downwards correction, or not much of one anyway. So I think if I iron that out, we always usually get like the 0.3, 0.4 of a degree taken off at the end of the month. We don't get that now. We shouldn't do, I don't think. So I reckon that is actually where we are. I don't think we're going to get anything taken off, or not much. So, you know, it's still touch and go, but I think we might just about pull off an 18 Celsius CT July, which I think given this July has reached 40 degrees, you know, I think given that, it deserves to come out as an 18 Celsius CT month. But we shall find out on Monday what happens. Right, so these are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles next couple of weeks on at Truro Road today. Suggested location for this part of the video. If you'd like to have your local town or city feature within this part of the video, please let us know in the comments, or you can email us at GavsWeatherVids@gmail.com or ask us on our social media, Facebook and Twitter accounts. We're always happy to do that. So we're starting off about average with the upper air temperatures at Truro at the moment. It's actually quite warm though in the sunshine. You can see why I think we're going to seal the deal on 18 Celsius CT month, because the next couple of days, remainder of July, actually going to be a bit warmer than average. So there's not much scope to drop the temperature there. If anything, it might tick up by a tenth of a degree or so, or just hold steady. But anyway, through the next few days, it's going to be warmer than average until around the middle of next week. Then there is a drop in the temperature through the second half of next week. Looks like it gets a little bit cooler from around the 4th to the 6th of August. And then we see the temperature lifting up through the second week of August. Still some quite hot outlier members within the GFS ensembles, notably that one just there, that's going up to 24 degrees at 850 HPA. Other ensemble members don't go quite that hot, but they do go about 20 degrees or 220 degrees at 850 HPA, including today's GFS operational midnight run, which again turns quite hot in the external range. You can see it in a moment. That's the thick green line just there. Even if it doesn't get to an extreme level of heat, there is definitely and clearly a warming trend going on here through the second week of August, so potentially turning very warm, if not hot. Precipitation-wise, it can be quite a lot of dry weather as well. Not completely dry. There will be some showery conditions through the opening days of August. Not overly wet, but some showery conditions around. But overall, you look at that ensemble graph, and it does look pretty dry. There's not much sign of, you know, a great deal in the way of rain. Certainly not down in the southwestern part of the country. Temperature anomalies from the 29th of July, 6th of August are going to be above average, particularly so for England and Wales, and precipitation anomalies from the 29th of July, 6th of August, drier than normal. Yes, it goes on, particularly so for Ireland, England, Wales, nearer average for the west of Scotland and northwestern parts of England, maybe. Latest wind from map from earthnoschool.net shows that we've got high pressure still dominating weather at the moment. Lower pressure and a jet stream out in the Atlantic up here. That's where the rain-bearing systems and rain-bearing westerly winds are. They're not far away, but still really we're bringing the wind from the east, from the southeast. It's pretty warm and a lot of dry weather to enjoy. However, the area of low pressure just here will bring some wetter weather to the northern half of the country, in particular overnight tonight and into tomorrow. The south still hangs on to quite dry weather. Right, so let's go through the chart data. This is the UK Met Euro run for midnight on Monday, first day of August, of course. So at that point, we've got a little trough push through the central swathe of the country, right, bring some showery weather there. In the south, probably still mostly dry next to the Azores high. Through the early part of next week, this area of low pressure deepens in the Atlantic, brings more rain into north, probably just about saying mostly dry down in the south, and then the second half of next week sees that low pressure transferring to Norway, and this is the cooler push of weather through the second half of next week as winds turn into the northwest. However, beyond that, it looks like this area of high pressure will start to build in after that northwesterly to northerly push. And so it'll start off as a cool ridge probably, maybe with some relatively cool nights in particular, but will probably rapidly get warmer under that area of high pressure into the second week of August. That's the plan anyway, I think. Icon looks like that. Looks like that again. High pressure reaching up from the southwest, bringing rain, dry weather to more southern parts of the country for the early part of next week, and potentially very warm as well. This low though brings further wet weather into the north. We might get some rain down into south courtesy of these areas of low pressure. Their exact track will be all critical. If they run in like in that fashion, then they probably bring most of the rain to the northern half of the country. If they sort of run in on this track, so a little bit further south, then we might get some rain down into the south. But at the moment, it does look, particularly for the north and west, where we have the wet weather, possibly some wet weather though getting into south. That's Wednesday. Looks pretty warm down in the south, probably mainly dry then. Still rather showery up in the north. And then that low pressure pushing through the country through the second half of next week will turn wind into a cooler northwesterly direction. And actually turning quite cool, actually proper northerly there as we go into the second half next week. This is to this time next week, 5th of August. You look at the upper air temperatures. They're really quite cool, actually, with the 0 Celsius isotherm getting to far north Scotland. A little hint of autumn in the air by the end of next week in the far northern part of the country. But bear in mind, this area of high pressure is then on its way in, and will probably turn things much warmer by trying to get into a second week of August. GFS Midnight Run, we hope it's going to get hot later on. Let's see how it happens. GFS Midnight Run looks like that. So again, the south just about hung on to the dry weather through the early part of next week. Most of the such weather will be in the north, but some rain might dig through into the south. Will be quite warm in the south though next week as well. Middle to second half next week, we turn wind into this northwesterly and build high pressure in from off the Atlantic, turning drier but cooler for the second half next week. And then look at that, the high pressure's right in out of the country by Saturday. Large area of high pressure at 1,030 millibars, and then off and running we go into a prolonged spell of very dry and warm weather. That's day 10, low pressure just niggling in to the far northwest of Scotland, with high pressure further south, bringing lots of dry and very warm conditions. Second half of the GFS extended midnight run looks like that. Again, very warm with high pressure dominating the weather. Hotter air is trying to push up from the south as well. Those upper air temperature bring the plus 15 Celsius ice into the southern half of the country. And that high pressure stays in control right way through to the end of the GFS midnight run, really. And we start to pull up an even hotter sort of southerly southeasterly front. Look at that, very, very hot over France. That hot air is just about making it into the far south of England once again. Possibly a little bit thundery by the very end, which today gets us to the 14th of August. GFS 6 then, looking like that again. High pressure dominating the weather in the south. Through the early part of next week will be more unsettled further north. And then through the middle of next week we might get some rain down even into the far south and southeast. That low pressure pushes through. High pressure ridging in from off the Atlantic, turning us mostly dry, and that big area of high pressure by day 10. Look at that. That's a large ridge. Central Scandinavia bringing in a very warm easterly flow there. And we keep that high pressure and well and truly in control of the weather right the way through to the very end of the GFS 6 run. These are absolutely classic hot summer charts, you know, with high pressure dominate. I reckon temperatures at least into the upper 20s, if not below 30s Celsius, with that upper air temperature looking very warm to hot across most parts of the country. Not extreme though. The extreme hot air is like over France, Spain and Portugal. Would be threatening to push northwards, but you know, not at this point. Bringing that in. That's how as we get to the very end of the GFS 6 run. Again, high pressure just out to our west, low pressure and hot air trying to move up from the south. Something a little bit curious is getting to the far north of Scotland, but the second week of August shaping up to be very, very warm, if not hot and dry there with the GFS output today. How hot it gets remains to be seen. If you enjoyed the video, then please can you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that, and I hope you're having a lovely Friday as well. We've got to put on around 45 subscribers to get ourselves to 14.2k, 14,200. So blink us up, and thank you so much. Right, GEM, looking like this. High pressure will bring the south and bring most dry weather into the south. Will be a little bit more showery further north through the open part of next week, and low pressure in off the Atlantic through the middle part of next week, turning things more unsettled, particularly in the northern half of the country. Might get some rain down to the south around the middle part of next week, and then high pressure starts building in behind that northerly push, so we end up with GEM again with a large area of high pressure right over top of the country. That high's going nowhere fast, so dry and very warm, probably turning hot even by the second week of August. And then the ECMWF looks like this. So once more, unsettled in the north through the early part of next week. Might get some rain down into the south. How much remains to be seen though. Second half of next week, there's that northwesterly push up will bring significantly cooler air with it. But then high pressure builds in behind that northerly, so ECM also in line with all of the other model output, showing a big area of high pressure dominating weather by day 10. And that probably sets us up for a very warm, if not hot, second week of August. Precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from tometeo.com. Looks like that showery in the northern half of the country over the next few days, mainly dry in the south. Might get some rain through parts of England and Wales on Sunday though. So that's the 31st of August. Yes, we have got some wet weather here, transferring through Wales and Midlands towards eastern England. Again, the extreme south and southeast, not much. But, you know, might get a little bit of rain, a little bit of splash and dash down into the far south. But like the Midlands and East Anglia, probably the wettest day on Sunday, but we've had for quite some time. Into OPAV next week, again, wet weather is particularly into the north and west. Some of that rain trying to get into the south, but again, particularly into like the Midlands. It's Tuesday, wet weather through Wales, Midlands, eastern parts of England. So a little bit of a reprieve from the prolonged dry spell early next week. But again, amounts rain in the extreme south and southeast are very, very trivial, very small amounts there. But for like Wales, the Midlands, East Anglia, East England, north of the M4, I suppose, it does look a little bit more encouraging. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Beyond that, the high pressure back in though, and then we turn mostly dry. So it is only a brief reprieve, and then we're back into those dry anticyclonic conditions for all areas. And we never get the rain into the extreme south and southeast. These are the on the table within the ECM ensemble day 4. Day 10 gets to the 8th of August. 12 members of the ECM ensemble show high pressure sitting just to our north, so lots of dry and very warm weather with that around day 10. highs more or less in over country. That includes the operational run as well. 12 with high pressure just to our west and northwest. So once again, mostly dry at that. Another 12, high pressure a little bit further north. Once again, mainly dry, but possibly bringing in a little bit more of a northeasterly type wind. 8 again, high pressure just here, dominating the weather more or less over country. 7 has a high pressure right in over country. All the options show high pressure at day 10, just the exact position of that high pressure that they're differing on. But I think they're all pointing in the same direction, which is high pressure in control by, by day 10. And in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got, getting us to the 13th of August. 12 members of the ECM ensembles have some above average heights just to our west. So again, I expect probably to dry away with that. 10 just here, high pressure from Scandinavia to Scotland, mostly dry, very warm with that. 8 again, high pressure over the site to the east of the country. Now that could start to bring up some much hotter air from the southeast, so that's probably the hottest position for that ridge of high pressure. 7, a little bit cooler, high pressure just moving out to the west. A low pressure digging in to the northeast. That might pull in like a cooler and more showery northwesterly. 7 with high pressure slightly to our west and northwest, mainly dry and very warm with that, you would have thought. And 7 just here, having a high pressure more or less in over top of the country. Again, most of those options are pointing to high pressure dominating at both day 10 and day 14. Its position of a ridge differs through the options, but I reckon this second week of August could be shaping up to be a little bit of a classic, I have to say. Maybe not to the extreme hot temperature that we had back in July, a week or so ago, but nevertheless, still potentially very warm to hot and mostly dry through that second week of August. Finally, CFS B2, this is the 700 millibar high joining from the CFS for August, showing above average heights in over top of the country. An anticyclonic August is therefore being predicted there. Temperature anomalies forecast to be above average of warm to potentially hot. August coming up, and precipitation is not much of a signal, but with such a strong high pressure, signal domination, it could well turn out to be quite a dry August as well. But prolonged dry spell goes on despite the little interruption we're going to have over the weekend and into the early part of next week. It looks like fundamentally high pressure is going to be the dominating factor as we go into August as well, with a classic August bringing to an end a classic hot summer. We shall see though, that's experimental. Any forecast on 5-7 days comes with lots of health warnings attached. Right, if you've enjoyed the video, then please can you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, dear Matt. Drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos, and don't forget to your friends and family about GavsWeatherVids. And we thank you so much for doing that. Right, I'll just say what's coming up over the weekend. It's going to be quite an interesting weekend. Tomorrow, we're going to have the 6am upload. We'll have weekend broadcast. We'll have the ECM WF 42-day forecast for the UK and Ireland, as well as the 10-14 day. And then on Sunday, we're going to have 6am upload again. And it's Solar Sunday. Solar Sunday, which is something we haven't done for probably about a year or so on the channel. So, exciting day. So Sunday, we're going to update all of the trackers, and we'll update you in terms of predictions for Solar Cycle 25 as well. So that's going to be coming up on Sunday morning, and then we'll be live streaming the 10 to 14 day on Sunday evening at 8 p.m. And as well as that, of course, as it's Sunday live stream, we'll show you some long range too. Right, well, that's the plan for the weekend. So the weekend starts here at GavsWeatherVids. We're going to keep you entertained and informed right away through the weekend. So keep checking back to the channel for more. But for today's videos, that's all for now. And thank you so much for watching. See ya soon.